All right, Jay Struber got here in Manhattan. Let's bring in Vic Hartman, retired FBI agent and forensic accountant at the Hartman Law Firm. He's also the author of The Honest Truth About Fraud, a retired FBI agent tells all. Vic, thank you so much for coming on the show this morning. Look, this is potentially history in the making here with a potential indictment of former President Donald Trump. As Rob just mentioned a second ago, Trump calling on his supporters to protest, saying, take our nation back. And this brings up memories of January 6th and everything that happened after that. As someone who follows law enforcement response so closely, how do authorities prepare for something like this?
Thank you for having me. It's a very serious event, obviously. With the backdrop of January 6th, you had the Capitol, which was a very large area to protect, and intelligence was lacking. This is a different scenario. The Manhattan DA's office, they've got time actually to put barricades up to block streets. So there you're protecting, the threat picture with Trump's take our nation back. That adds another level of threat to the scenario. So you have the threat picture, the building, you can secure that, and now intelligence is going to be way up. The FBI and NYPD, the Joint Terrorism Task Force in New York, they will be looking for the internet for rogue actors, for malicious actors. It makes it different from January 6th. Of course, Trump doesn't actually know he'll be indicted in grand jury still meeting. He doesn't know he'll be arrested Tuesday, but the purpose of scooping the news, very effective at this, is in order to get time for his Trump supporters to get to Manhattan. So he's done that very effectively.
So walk us through this. If Trump is in fact indicted, there's an uproar, his protesters come here, kind of like January 6th, and maybe a handful of them, one of them, causes some violence. How do you determine whether there is a credible threat to any state in the country?
From a law enforcement perspective, we're operating under a high threat level. There is a credible threat. We have the backdrop of January 6th. We have the tweet, take our nation back. So we have the threat picture. Law enforcement now is on full alert and has the ability to erect the barricades, look for intelligence. There's also parks around the local area, so there's certainly a First Amendment protected right to protest. You can put the protesters in the parks and areas. So there's a way, I think, to do this securely, and NYPD is the law enforcement agency to go to, so I think Manhattan's going to be secure. Mechanically on how the rest would work. So Trump will be under the orders of the DA, will surrender, assuming he's indicted and there's an arrest warrant. There will be a booking photo, sometimes known as a mugshot, fingerprints, and then a cheek swab, also known as a buccal swab, which gets DNA. So that should happen very quickly, speedily, and then he goes before a judge for an initial hearing. This is a newsworthy event. Certainly there should be photos taken. I hope that the DA and the police department do not further publicize his mugshot. I think that would look more as a trophy. Although it's a newsworthy event, photos should be taken. I think that should play out. Other than this, it should be a routine arrest. Having the Secret Service involved is a little strange because you're going to have the Secret Service involved, but that adds another level of security to the process as well.
How will that factor in specifically with the Secret Service around the former president? And if he's got the handcuffs on, he's in the courthouse, what's that going to look like exactly?
My guess is there will not be handcuffs. That won't be needed. It will look excessive. Under the FBI's protocol is in these scenarios, always put the defendant in handcuffs. I think they should get approval and not do that, make this an exception. I don't think that's the look that the prosecution, the DA wants, a mugshot or that he's in handcuffs. The fact that there's Secret Service, that's just an oddity, but I think it adds an extra level of security among all involved, including Trump's security.
And obviously, there's plenty of concern about a repeat of January 6th. We've talked about it a little bit. Has that event changed the game in how law enforcement prepare for something of this nature, something this high profile, an arrest of this kind?
Unquestionably. January 6th proved that Trump does have the ability to rally some small segment of his group, but that are angry and capable of violence and harm. So That was a game changer for sure. So we knew the threats are real, the potential is real, and so now law enforcement has to up their game and meet the threat head on.
All right, Vic Hartman, author of The Honest Truth About Fraud, a retired FBI agent, tells all. Vic, thank you so much for coming on and breaking this down for us. We really appreciate it.